Hello, everyone, and welcome into another edition of the United Spurs of America podcast with your host, as always. I'm Michael. He's Jacob. I'm smiling, Jacob, but you know what? It's not great, man. I think I'm just smiling through the pain. You know what? I'm smiling through the pain. I'm smiling with you. I'm happy to be here with you today. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. Happy Friday, beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you may be joining us from today. We appreciate all the support. We're on the road to 100, or almost 100K. We're on the road eventually, but 1K. We're on the road to 1K. I was about to say 100K. On the road to 1K. So please hit the likes and hit the subscribe button. But yeah, Jacob, road to 1K, my friend. That's about as positive as what we have going on today, because 4-1 loss against Leicester on Saturday, and then a 1-0 loss against AC Milan in the Champions League on Tuesday. It's been 7 days, my friend, and Jesus Christ, we have been nut punched after nut punched after nut punched. Yeah. Rodrigo Bentancur out for the season, man.
Out, man.
Jesus Christ, torn ACL against Leicester. It's just not great. It's just not great.
It's not looking great, but there was a couple of bright little, should I say stars or should I say SARS? Because, well, actually, SARS kind of sounds bad too.
It's like the only positive, man. Him and Skipp.
But I mean, that's one game they showed out. I thought that they were bright, but I think the Leicester game brought some sadness to a lot of Tottenham Hotspur fans. But hey, Mike, how you doing? It's good to be here. It's hard to kind of just like really jump in without mentioning a lot of the mud puddles, if you will, that we've stepped in. But hey, that's what we do these Friday shows for. That's part of the whole process, right? Is we gotta just work through it, you know? There's always gonna be tomorrow. At some point something will figure itself out. I think at some point it's got to. That's my only hope, Michael, is it's got to.
No, for sure, man. First off, want to thank our loyal Patreons before we go any further into this podcast. We're going to talk about a lot. Obviously, the two games that we've had since our last live stream last Friday. The Bentancur news, Conte news as well. We didn't even mention the Conte news in our intro, too. That's another nut punch. He's reportedly going back to his home in Italy to rest up because he is just not doing well in his recovery after surgery. It's not great, man. It's not great. I need that English 007, not that Italian 007.
You need to be in England, my guy, because, hold on. Should I take him out of the box? Should I do that?
What happens if you take him out of the box and then we just go on like a win streak and we never lose for the rest of the season? Is that what we've needed?
What are we thinking? Spark? What are we thinking, everyone in the chat? We should say hi to the chat as well.
Yeah, just let them vote in the chat.
Well, what are we thinking? I'm going to make a poll. I'll open this on stream, okay? As you can tell, I don't like to open things like that. I like to keep them, in their little box. But I'll open this Conte just because, you know what I mean? He may never return from Italy is kind of how I'm feeling. His press conferences have increasingly made me more and more sad. It's just not a good time. But
look, man, as I was saying, I hate to interrupt you, but as I was saying, man, we got to thank the loyal Patreons. You got to hit the link down below. Jacob's always putting it in the chats. Patreon.com/United Spurs of America. We want to thank our loyal patrons, man, because they're the ones we do this all for, and also all of our viewers, man, all of the viewers that hit the like, that hit the subscribe. But Soggy Undies Club, nonetheless, Mr. Allen, 10-inch. The one, the only Sibley. Thank you so much, man. The 10-inch club, Aaron Dub, Goguma, Mile High Hotspur, and Leo, Ellie, and C. Shearman. We appreciate you guys. The official supporters, Scott M., James Joris, J. Co., David, Jamie, and Jack K. You know him. I know him. Yes, sir. We all love him. Lovers Lane, Bobby K. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, Gina sir. Kim, Tom Markkinen, Colin, and then the one, the only, C. Cubed. And like I said before, if you want to become a loyal patron, hit the link. Patreon.com/United Spurs of America. Jacob,
what's cracking, my
let's
man?
get into the news that broke today, and then we'll get into Bentancur and then just the sadness that was the two games for this past week. But look, man, Antonio Conte reportedly out for the foreseeable future. He's headed back to Italy to recover in his family home. Like I said, yeah, for the foreseeable future. So he's out. Stellini is back in. Undefeated Stellini, I might add. I guess that's one positive I guess you could take out of this. But look, man, it's just it just feels like it's just another nut punch to our collective sack, if you will.
Man, that should have been the title of today's
It's like the fourth.
stream.
It's like the fourth punch, right? Since Saturday.
How many are we counting? Okay, because Hugo,
Leicester,
Bissouma.
Well, I guess yeah, you could count Hugo, but that was before.
They've been punching.
That was before the stream, though. I'm talking about since the last stream. There's been like 4 nut punches. The Leicester loss, the Bentancur news, and then the Milan loss, and then the Conte news. That's 4
nut punches.
Boom, boom,
and that's
boom,
in a week span.
7 days.
7 days, and I ain't trying to even quote. What's that movie?
And the Lloris news is within 10 days.
This is too much. Let's say what's up to the chat. What's up, Rich? Coys, Conte out. I started getting depressed, Michael. You started saying, let's talk about Stellini, and then all these nut punches. So I'm like, first, let's say what's up in the chat. Big up Adrian Stroka.
We'll talk about that too. Don't worry. We'll talk about that too.
Oh, yeah. Big up Kuva.
Soon, probably.
This is a nice comment from Adrian Stroka. 4.5 billion is the stadium release clause. Just pay the damn money, Qatar. Please pay the money. Ed was cracking with the eyeballs and kind of creepy looking. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Big up Tot Spurs. Says big up Mike and Jacob. Big up yourself. Come on, you Spurs. Ryman's son. What's cracking? Said rapidly. You're gonna get another one at the end of the show, but big up. See, this is a person who knows his stuff. Big up, everybody. Tricky One, what's up, boys? Best Spurs chat podcast intro music. Thank you so much, Tricky One. Sarr's the nuts. Yo, he's the nuts. He's the tits. He's all the above. That man can put it on for his city, if you know what I'm talking about.
I'd give him my nuts if he needs them.
True. He's the man. I love me some. I'm calling him I Papi Sarr. I don't know if that's appropriate, but that's kind of just what I'm sticking with. Big up David Clark. Hi from windy Leicester City.
It's windy over here too, man.
I want to ask you, David, did you do it or was it intentional? Who hurt my man's knee, David? And I think it is at the city of Leicester. The atmosphere took my man Bentancur, took his knee out from under him. That's unfortunate. What's up, Ben Kaufman? Ben Kaufman, I know for a fact he went to Milan. I know that much, but haven't heard from him since. But he's here in the chat. Big up, Ben Kaufman. Hope you're doing well. Tricky One. To be fair, Conte hasn't been well, which has been pretty plain to see. Respect him for trying to come back. Absolutely. We're going to get into it because there's some thoughts I have about it. Some may or may not be controversial. May or may not be. To be seen. Big up Bobby K's in the house. Hope you're doing well, Bobby K. Says big up Bobby. Jacob, Michael, and everyone in the chat. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, Bobby K.
Come on.
The best thing about Milan was the food and the insane fashion deals. Big up Ben. I'm glad you had a good time. Honestly, I heard the San Siro is gonna be torn down. So that's actually really cool that you got to go there and experience that. I'm very jealous. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it out to Italy to see that stadium anytime soon. Big up Patty Hartnett. Says, good evening, America's #1 Spurs channel. And everyone in the chat except Bobby K.
Damn.
Big up, Patty. Big up Phil Coys. Evening to you, my friend. You're lucky being in America. I'm getting stick everywhere I go. Taxi driver shouting from his car, taking the piss. I mean, I very lightly took the piss from you earlier as well. So, David, not too many people are happy with Leicester right now. So, big up Ben Kaufman says it's Bobby K. Phil Coys, Sarr is looking exciting. The new Yaya Toure. I think I said one time to somebody, I said Sarr Toure.
It was to me, I think.
And then it got passed around quite a bit. But I want everyone to know who's watching this, whether they're watching this live or on playback. I did, in fact, say that first, but it's cool. You don't have to check receipts. You can just trust me.
Because like Ray J when he said I hit it first.
Yeah, somewhere the tape's out there
Wow.
somewhere. You just got to find that tape. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Ray J. So 4 nut punches, man. 4 nut punches in 1 week. 1 week, 4 nut punches. I really, and to
Not
me,
great.
it makes me think what could go worse. I don't want to say it because knock on wood, knock on wood. What's our next best? Like Bentancur has been our most consistent player this entire season, and the fact that now he's out and they're saying 6 months at least. No, that's an 8 month at least. Probably
thing
12
that
months if you're honest.
The thing that I was worried the most about, and I think one of the things that I thought of one of the first things that I thought of, excuse me, when I heard the news was how is he going to recover, and what is he going to look like after?
Mm-hmm.
It's tricky, man, especially for a midfielder, and with how much he runs, how much ground he covers every game, what his instructions are, the type of player he is, and the type of player that he's grown to be. I'm just scared. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna put any bad vibes out there. I'm not saying that he won't come back stronger. I'm just saying that it's worrisome, man. Torn ACL. It's nothing to be. It's can't take anything light about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a serious injury. It is.
Let's look at it. I mean, if according to anyone who cares about SofaScore ratings, he's been our third highest rated average on average this season for us. So that's going to be a huge blow when you lose your third best, or I guess you could say third most contributing player. He's 25 years old. We've seen people under 30 come back from this thing.
Yeah.
To me, it's not a matter of. I don't doubt that he's going to get some of the best treatment to repair that thing that got torn, or hopefully it just got a little torn and not like completely torn. And you know, because whenever you start taking tissue and replacing that thing, it starts actually being a little bit less stable. So the harder part, I think, to me would be mentally. You know, how much weight do you put on this foot? How often do you feel confident like putting all your weight on it, or a lot of pressure on it? Like, do you cut on it? Do you not try? And then you start overthinking your own gameplay, and it's just really a downward spiral from there. So for me, I'm a little afraid as well, Michael. I'm not gonna lie.
I just get nervous.
Very nervous. He's been our, you could argue, our most consistent player this season specifically, or yeah. Harry Kane. Harry Kane has a few goals in the league, but it's not nice knowing that he's not going to be contributing to anything that we do going forward. He may not even be available during the preseason next season. When do we even really get him back? And when is
maybe
he
October? Maybe.
Was he saying September?
September, maybe.
September, maybe. I don't know.
It remains to be seen. It's a gut punch, man. But I guess it's an opportunity, like we already saw, especially in the game against AC Milan, where they both started. But it's an opportunity for young guys to step up, obviously, especially Oliver Skipp and Papa Mater Sarr that we saw against AC Milan, the duo who played very well, may I add. They were about the only bright spot of our team in that performance in the 1-0 loss at the San Siro. Hojbjerg comes back into the frame, and a lot of people are debating who's going to drop out. We'll get into that maybe a little bit later on, but I just want to say, man, the Bentancur loss is going to be massive, and I have a bad feeling about the rest of this season, man. I just do. And you look at it,
yeah.
And we're 1 or 2 injuries away for this thing being like on the border of a spiral trend downwards, like bad. I'm talking about like a Harry Kane or Romero, or hell, a Hojbjerg injury away. Who knows? Another midfielder injury. We're in deep trouble, man. We're in deep trouble.
How is it that 6 months ago I'm sitting here feeling pretty pretty about where we're sitting in the
Ooh, you are
midfield and
sitting
where we're
pretty
sitting
pretty.
in the attacking as well because of the depth that I mean, the numbers of people. I never really thought Sarr was going to get many minutes this season because
Um,
if you look at it between Højbjerg and Bentancur,
we wanted
between
him to go out
him,
on loan at
I
the
didn't
beginning of the
want Sarr.
season.
I didn't want Sarr to go out on loan.
At the
Did
beginning of
we?
the season, I did.
You did.
At the start of before the season started, I definitely did. I didn't think he
He
was
did
gonna get
already
much
have a
time.
good loan though with us. Like whenever we first, because we kind of did the Destiny Udogi thing where we
Yeah.
bought him, then loaned him back to the place that we bought him from. But for me, dude, I really just worry that this one performance between Sarr and Skipp is going to be like a flash in the pan. They're going to be over their head again because we saw Sarr start versus Arsenal in the North London Derby. Looked a little over his head, but he didn't look too out of it. There's hope, I think, with him. Skipp, I'm more worried about Skipp because this is a player that I highly criticized. I said, Skipp, I don't know what he's going to give us going forward. I don't know what he can really give us in the long term anymore because I just didn't see it from the guy. But I thought in Milan, he played very composed, played very well. I think he knew that the big lights were on him. Everyone was going to be, harshly critiquing them too, and they really buckled down. And to me, that gave me some hope. But like you said, if we lose someone in the midfield, that's going to definitely hamper any expectations. That I don't even know what the expectations are for the rest of the season now because of how many losses how long is Bissouma out? We know we've lost.
He's gonna be out for at least the next what? It was 6 to 8 weeks, right? At least, wasn't it? I forget.
I don't remember. You got it. You looking it up?
Yeah.
This is
It
another
just
thing
says
I
out
do want to talk
indefinitely.
about.
Out indefinitely.
That's great. Indefinitely is not a word you want
No.
next to out. Rich says Kulu's looked below par since he's been back. I do actually agree with this. We'll talk. I'm going to star this comment so we could talk about it later. Ryman's son going to light one for Bentancur. Hey, roll one up, light one for the man, pour one out, do whatever you got to do for this guy.
For sure, pour one out, man.
For sure, he's the homie. And honestly, to see him go down, I feel like I want to change the background of this show to just a hugging picture of him, but it might be too inappropriate. But I'll hold back on that. Big up Paul Beatty in the house says you used up a Bentancur, not too many left. This is the thing is we can always.
Is that how this works?
We have
you only have so many now at the remaining in the season.
like a cat's life or something. You only have 9 of them. And
maybe if we say it 9 times, we can summon him back, and he'll grow his ACL back to health. Maybe if you say it enough in the mirror.
Let me ask you this in a positive way, Michael.
Bentancur.
Like the
holding a candle.
Yeah. Say it 3 times. To me, Michael, I want to pose this a positive question for you. Okay. What if this just gives a player like Ay Papi Matesar. What if this just gives him a chance to really step up and show what he can do and solidify himself, like almost accelerate the process? Because think about it, if Højbjerg, Bentancur, and Bissouma and Skipp, all these players, I feel like Skipp, he's ahead of Skipp in the pecking order. But if those 3 midfielders, if we're only playing 2, he's not going to get in very often. If anything, maybe this accelerates that. I want to pose it to you. Could this be a chance, almost like a platform for Ay Papi to definitely step up and do something? Or is this just...
I think it definitely does, especially, and the thing that makes me a little bit more comfortable in saying that is he's played in big games before, right, for his national team. He's played in AFCON, he's played in the World Cup, he has played in big tournaments so far. Now he's going to get that big game experience on a club level. He might not start every game, right? There's going to be some sort of rotation, especially if Conte slash Stellini slash Mason slash coaching staff sticks with a 2-man midfield moving forward. It's going to be a rotation of Højbjerg, Skipp, Sarr, and unless one of them just like performs at such a shit level that Conte slash Stellini are like, all right, we just got to cut the cord and like we just got to stop the bleeding right now. He's going to get his chances. He's already getting his chances, right? We already saw against AC Milan and other games previously, before the Bentancur injury. But that's why I'm a little bit more confident in his ability to step up in this moment. And I'm just like you, my friend. And it's sad because at this point, like a year and a half ago, we would say, we had a semi-argument about who we would rather take moving forward. Was it Skipp or Højbjerg? And I said Skipp, and you said Højbjerg. And it was on the heels of Skipp playing his best football of his life, literally in his career, to start 2 seasons ago or last year. He was just an unbelievable bright spark in what was a cloudy, not so bright start to the season. And he was homegrown. A lot of people were saying that this was finally his opportunity. He was really going to step up. He was going to be a Premier League player finally. And then he got injured. And then he kept getting injured. And then he kept getting injured. And now you see a player getting a chance again. He's finally healthy enough, coming back into the frame. But I don't feel the same way as I did when I had that argument with you, my friend. And that's what worries me, is because he hasn't had that as much experience. He has had Champions League experience. He's had Premier League experience before. Don't get me wrong, but he hasn't been as consistent. Sarr has for his national team. Skipp hasn't really for us. And that's what, for me, worries me. Both of them do have something to prove, obviously at a club level, because they haven't yet. But I'm a little bit more confident in Sarr than I am in Skipp. I agree with you.
Something I do also want to put a little caveat to the discussion is, if you remember, Michael, when the quotes came out that I think Stellini and Conte were both praising Papa Matisar for, Ai Papi Matisar. They were praising him for his training ethic and the way that he trained and how hard that he trained. So to me, that's nothing but a good thing. I ain't heard Conte or Stellini say that about Mr. Oliver Skipp, but that's not a knock on Oliver Skipp. I'm just saying that's not. Oh shoot! I didn't realize his head was knocked over.
Sorry, Cobra. Big up, buddy.
Nah, but yeah, it's really, when I think about it, the fact that we had Sarr and Skipp starting a Champions League round of 16 away fixture at the San Siro is almost poetic in a way, right? Is it poetic, or is it some people were saying, is it a Valentine's Day massacre, or is it a love affair? And to me, I kind of liked what I saw, honestly. I mean, I feel like we can get into it, the Milan game, Michael, if you want to.
Yeah.
Bobby K says Bissouma 2 months at least, apparently. So
at least 8 weeks.
That gives Sarr, I think, enough time to Sarr or Skipp, whoever gets the chance. It gives them definitely a big opportunity.
The exciting part is going to be to see who grabs it, man. Who grabs that opportunity? Who runs away with it? Who enters the spotlight and just grabs some games by the scruff of the necks? Like, who's going to step up? Who's going to be that youngin that comes up that everyone wants to cheer for? That everyone's going to be, who's everyone's side is everyone's going to be on. You know what I mean? Like, this is the type of opportunity that Dele Alli had when he was on the rise. This is the type of opportunity that you could argue Sessegnon had and failed to take hold of when he was on, I guess, the rise. I guess you could still say he's on the rise. How long is he on the rise before we just say, like, nah, bro, it's never going to happen? But you know what I mean? Like, these young players coming up, it's exciting, right, to see, because it's like, all right, let's see if they grab the opportunity and they run with it. So it's just who's going to step up? Who's going to take it? I hope it's both. It can be both, right? It's not the exciting part is it can't be one or the other, right? It's
even still,
it can be both.
Højbjerg is having himself a decent year.
Oh, for sure. And that's the part where I was like, it's going to have to be a rotation, because it's very hard for me to say like any of them are going to uproot or unplant the spot that Højbjerg has in the 11 right now, just based on experience and sheer I guess class, you could say, because right now he's a level above them. It's sad to say, but he just is. He's a more experienced player. He's been there.
He can conduct the game, you know what I mean?
So it's going to have to be a rotation, unless God forbid, knock on wood, it doesn't happen. But unless Højbjerg, something happens to Højbjerg, it's gonna have to be a rotation. So, but both of them could still do well. There's a lot of games. There's still a few competitions we're in: Champions League, FA Cup, and Premier League. There's still 3 competitions to play for, and I think that's the part before we get into Milan that I think everyone tends to forget, myself included, is there's a lot to play for in this season. And I know the Conte news and the Conte, him being out for the foreseeable future doesn't come at a great time because we're in the thick of it, and this is kind of like we're leading up to the home stretch of the final few sequences of the season. And like I said, we're in 3 competitions, and all 3 we're going to play in over the next few weeks. So it's huge, man. There's a lot to play for in this next few months.
But honestly, I think the schedule kind of favors us a little bit. I feel like a lot of our hard matches have gotten over and done with already. I know we've got Chelsea one more time. We've got Liverpool. They're going to be scraping and fighting real hard to get some points. But when I look at the remainder of the schedule, there's a lot of winnable matches there. Even with these injuries, you should say, okay, looking at these squads, Harry Kane's got to step up. Kulusevski's got to step up. Heung Daddy's got to step up most certainly. And Højbjerg included. These are all players I think that are going to have to step up if we're actually going to do anything. But to me, the schedule actually favors us. I mean, we got 39 points in 5th place. That's only 2 points behind Newcastle. They have a game in hand. But, I mean, honestly, the whole schedule's up for grabs. Who plays tomorrow? I think Arsenal play at like 5 a.m. or something our time. And it's like they play Aston Villa, I think it is. So what's his name going and play versus Arsenal? Unai Emery? That's the coach's name, right? Of Aston Villa?
Yeah. He's going to be playing his old club.
Imagine Arsenal lose.
Yeah, tomorrow at the ass crack of dawn. I'm not getting up for that. But
those games are always a coin flip, right? The ones that are the ass crack of dawn for us, what I think they call them the 3 p.m. kickoff over there for UK.
I'm going to be excited to watch Newcastle Liverpool tomorrow. Sorry getting off topic, but
don't.
I'm excited.
Newcastle,
there's a few good games tomorrow, man. Brighton, Fulham, 2 teams that are playing very well this season. Chelsea, Southampton, 2 teams that are struggling recently. You have Everton, Leeds, again, 2 teams that are struggling recently. There's a lot of good matchups, man.
Why do they have so many kickoffs at the same time, though? There's like a bunch of 8 a.m.
I guess.
There's like a bunch of 8 a.m.
It's kind of like the NFL, though, you could argue.
Yeah, but like spread them out. There's only 2 games. There's only 2 tomorrow.
They do. No, there's 3 time slots tomorrow. 5:30, 8, and 10:30. Yeah, there's 3 time slots.
I thought Sunday it's only
Sunday's
us,
only 2.
and then yeah,
Sunday's only 2. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. You got like 5 kickoffs at 8 a.m. on Saturday. Move 1 or 2 of those Sunday. What's the problem in that? I don't understand the scheduling, man. Scheduling don't make no sense to me. Ryman's son, Richarlison, also needs to step up. He also needs to get some chances. I don't think he's had too much chances. He's got a little bit more than Danjuma, but honestly, that's actually a question I did want to ask you, Michael. Should I save it or should I ask you right now?
Let's go ahead since they asked it in the chat.
So Ryman says Richarlison needs to step up. I'm just going to pose it. I'm not saying, disclaimer, I'm not saying this is what I'm saying should happen, but should Son be benched, who would you rather give the chance to? Richarlison on the left, which we have seen, or would you rather do Danjuma on the left, which we have not really seen at much capacity?
Richarlison.
Richarlison?
Yeah, Richarlison for sure. He's more comfortable on the left. I would like to see him down the middle more. Like, I would love to be able to come out here before Sheffield and be like, you know what? This is Richarlison's game. This is his time to shine. Bench Kane, let him rest. Give him 90 minutes, literally 90 minutes of rest, and let Richarlison go out there and let him show us what he can do in the FA Cup. I would love to be able to sit here and tell you that we should do that, but we know it's not going to happen. So I would love to see him get an opportunity on the left again. I know people are a little bit frustrated, myself included, with the lack of goals and assists that he's had this season, particularly in the Premier League. But um, I'd rather have Richarlison, man. For me, Danjuma, I haven't seen enough of him yet for me to up seat, I guess, Richarlison's place as the so-called Son replacement if Son were to be benched or if he were to go down. It was always going to be Richarlison. I think it's still Richarlison, and it will be Richarlison in the future. What about you? Do you agree? I would rather see Danjuma down the middle also, kind of like what we saw on his debut. But
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what their plans are. I think they might see him more of a central player and then Richarlison on the wing. But I think I would rather see Richarlison down the middle as that pure Kane backup, like I've said time and time before. But yeah, what are your thoughts?
I kind of a little bit want to see Danjuma on the left just because that's where he had done some all right work for Villarreal over there on the left wing.
Yeah,
so I'm kind
particularly
of curious,
in the Champions League.
Right, exactly, and in a big time performance. Now we've seen Richarlison in Champions League performances. He had the brace obviously against Marseille, but outside of that, what has he done really in any competition for Tottenham? So
He had the assist to Kane at Nottingham, but that was about
the
it.
outside the boot. Yeah, that was kind of nice. But my other question, what else has he done really? He's played
He's been bright in some games,
but we've thrown him on the left.
There's been times where he struggled a lot. That's the problem. He's been inconsistent.
Where we play him on the left. So I'm just like,
no, on the right. We've played him on the right. What are you talking about?
He's also played.
He hasn't played on the left that often, if at all.
I could have sworn he'd be playing.
He's always played for Kulusevski because Son. He's never gotten benched. He got benched that one game against Leicester, and then he scored the fucking hat trick. Right.
But they kind of.
That's why I think I would rather see him on the left because he played there more often than he never played on the right before he came here. He would always either play down the middle or on the left. That's why I would rather see him on the left. I would be intrigued if they were to bench Son to see how well Richarlison would play on the left with Kane up top. I don't know.
You know what else I just thought about? This is a little bit off topic. It's just a little next subject. But something I've realized we haven't talked about, you and I, Michael, since we got to see him in full, which was Pedro Porro versus Leicester.
Yeah.
I haven't heard your opinions. I haven't gotten to hear your take on the guy. This is a little bit of a switch of the subject, so I'm going to run through some of the comments real quick while I let you gather your thoughts. Yes, it is memory.
Pedro Porro. I texted, I think, you, my buddy Travis. Shout out Travis. And I think one of my other friends. Richie is ahead of Danjuma in the pecking order. Yes, I agree for sure.
Big up, Chris.
I felt like there were so many times, man, against Leicester, where I thought I was watching a right-footed Reggie on the right, getting spun around the same way Reggie would, getting lost positioning wise, and just completely losing a man time and time again. Harvey Barnes had an absolute field day, absolute feast. He ate off of his ass cheeks, wiped his mouth, and dusted him off. It was bad, man. It was bad. It was bad.
It was nasty.
And then going forward, his passing was suspect at best. It was a disastrous debut, man. It was a disastrous debut. But I'm serious. I actually felt like I was watching Reggie at times on the right. It felt like that. And that's what scares me. It's only one game. So obviously I'm not going to say like this is the end all be all, but
would your opinion have changed? Say Kulusevski one time that pass that he found him in the box ever so cleverly, I might add. He found Kulusevski pretty cleverly in the box, and Kulusevski tried to take one too many touches. If he one times that and puts it in the back of the net, and Porro gets the assist, do you think does that change how you feel about his overall performance?
Well, yeah, obviously.
Say he still gets turned around as many times though. Say Harvey Barnes
I would still say that he would
him.
Still, yeah, he still got put in the spin cycle. But yeah, it would have helped his offensive criticism, I guess. But defensively, he was awful, man. awful. What about you? What do you think?
I thought defensively he was very suspect, but I've also thought, this is his first game, his first run out. He really, to throw him in to start away from home, and then really he ain't been here that long if you think about it before he got that start. So I just kind of feel for him. Chris kind of second stat says, was Porro's first game, can't be too harsh.
Yeah. That's why I said, it's only one game, so hopefully this is just, getting the nerves out, shaking them out.
Yeah,
but
Ryman did say with peace and love, so
oof. Yeah, peace and love, but Jesus Christ, you were ass. And you might be ass.
Maybe defensively. But say, you know what? I heard someone say throw him at right midfield, fuck it. And just play Emerson at right wing back. If we ain't got no midfielders, say Højbjerg goes down or something, and Skipp picks up too many yellows. I don't know. That was a thought. Pedro Porro from a little underwhelming on his debut start. That for me was a little
mucho underwhelming for me.
Also, why didn't he take number 2? Could he not? Was it
I don't know. Maybe he just
not
wanted
available. I don't know.
Maybe he's just a LeBron and Jordan fan.
Hey, you should say Jordan first before you say
LeBron and Jordan.
Jordan and LeBron.
LeBron's got first. 2 numbers, but that's just because he's the GOAT. But
big up THFC till I die. Yeah, that's a different conversation for a different day. Pedro Porro.
He's getting worked up, ladies and gentlemen. Look at him.
Don't talk to me about the GOAT. Milan for me. I'm gonna move it over to the Milan talk.
Yeah, all right. What's the other nut punch? I guess you could argue 5 because it was Porro's debut and he was awful. That was the 5th nut punch.
Yeah, that's 5 nut punches.
Yeah. So let's move on. Let's move on to the next one. Next nut punch. Which one was it? Which nut punch are we moving on to next?
Kulusevski's downturn of form.
Oh, that could be another one too.
That's 6 nut punches. We need to counter a little ding ding ding. A little
counter in the top left, your top right.
Let me put it like right up there.
Someone count in the chat how many nut punches that is. That's got to be 7, I think already.
I think I'm at 6. I counted 6, but I might have missed one.
Dyer starting automatically nut punch. There you go. 7.
Dyer starting, yeah.
Davies starting automatic nut punch, and Davies, what was it, like a 15-minute ghost cameo that was absolutely awful. Add another nut punch. 8. There was not a lot of positives, man. I think it was just the Sarr Skipp game. That was about it.
I thought Heung-min Son was decent. I thought Perisic wasn't. I mean, he's always a liability defensively. I feel like that's the problem we're gonna have with these wingbacks. They can cross a ball in, they can pass it decently, they can get forward, but they can't really do the job defensively. The jury's still out with Pedro Porro, admittedly, but I mean, I don't have a lot of optimism. Fraser Forster in goal. I mean, that's another subject we should talk about. But really, like, to me, the standout, a lot of attention has been put on Son and his downturn of form. But really, since the injury, I haven't seen Kulusevski do much of anything with the opportunity. He's gotten a lot of minutes. He's gotten a lot of passes into him with a lot of space. He's gotten touches in the box. He's had chances. He's had shots. He's taken a little long on the ball for me. I'm a little worried about Kulusevski. At what point do we start? I mean, fuck it. Throw Danjuma on the right then. If what you're saying, Michael, was that we try Richarlison on the right and he's been ineffective for the most part, why not try Danjuma on the right if we're not going to drop Son? If Son is this undroppable figure, because that would just do too much to whatever. I don't know what it may be, but why not change it up? Change it up. That's what
I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, well, the problem is I think, the solution is these guys just need rotation. Like these guys just need some time on the bench, just rest.
Something.
The problem is they don't get it. There's no rotation, and you can understand why. And look, I'll even give this is like the opposite of a shout out, but it's still like a shout out because I'm shouting him out. You can give a shout out to Jed Spence because he had another awful performance for Ren in the Europa League. I don't know if you saw it yesterday, but he was absolutely dreadful. And people
That's
were
now
saying
3.
maybe this is why Conte didn't play him in the first place. And maybe this is why also other players aren't getting an opportunity. Maybe they're also big ass behind the scenes and we're just not
Mm-hmm.
seeing it. But regardless, look, these guys aren't getting rotation. I think that's just what they need. But the problem is the guys who are supposed to be their replacements or to fill in those gaps for when they need rest, they're just not up to standard. That's the problem. So I don't know, man. The we'll see how long the tactic of just storming and pushing through, regardless of fatigue and or out of form or not, how it pays off for the rest of the season, because that's how it's been so far, and it's been a roller coaster, to say the least.
Chris brings an interesting point up. Says Jacob, it wasn't Forster's fault from a long goal. It was Romero getting out jumped. Romero got kind of outworked a little bit over there. I thought him and Emerson were going to have their hands full with Theo Hernandez and Rafael Leao. So really, Theo and Leao had their way with them. It was them having fun. I thought the game was, for the most part, pretty open, pretty back and forth. We really allowed them to do what they wanted. They kind of allowed us to do what we wanted, but we just never capitalized. I mean, when I look at some of how many shots on target do we even have? I'm trying to find that information.
Against Milan,
Yeah, we had 11
we had
shots,
three.
3 on target. how three shots? You need 6 shots. Give me six shots in a whole match. That's atrocious. They only had 4 and were still able to get done. They did score early, so that's a little bit, I feel like a little luck when you score that early. You just kind of catch a team out, and really, we're a good opponent to do that. If you're struggling, which they are in the Serie A, they've been struggling. I know Napoli's running away with the Scudetto, and so Scudetto, the Scudetto. So we're really a good team for them to now feel confident. Oh, look, we just beat Tottenham Hotspur. Look at how good we are. Really, it was unfortunate to see our defense just nowhere to be found while Fraser Forster has a double save. And then Ibrahim, which this guy I think is like 5 foot tall. He's now dunking on our keeper because our keeper had a double save and is on the ground. It's just an unfortunate way to give up a goal away in the Champions League. But I do feel like in regards to that cup tie, we're coming back home. We could just put 2 on them. Just win a 2-0 real quick and easy. We could do that in a half and then do whatever we want for the next half. Stellini, we never know, because him and Mason, they made a coaching decision, a game time decision. Last time that they were in charge was versus Man City. So they made a change that was very effective. So I have confidence that they might be able to do it again. I'm not too doom and gloom. I do want to send the SOS. I do want to send the SOS out there just because of all the injuries, kind of the state of Spurs. Save our Spurs, Sarr, Oliver, Skipp, however you want to wrap up the SOS. I'm totally fine with. But for me, my friend, I'm sending out this SOS because I'm just concerned about Spurs at this moment. I don't feel too confident, but I also feel like this leaves a chance for some surprise, Michael, because I think with the players we have an expectation. There's always this expectation that Harry Kane, Heung Son, someone's going to get it done. You never know. Maybe now we'll be surprised with these boys in the midfield. I think Ipapi showed me something nice, so there's a little optimism there. But outside of that, the Milan game, I don't really take much away. Other than, our defense sucks. I know that. It's not news to anybody. Chris says, Sarr was class. Is it time to question that maybe we should have pushed the boat out and bought another? Yes, of course we should have bought another.
Yeah, we've been saying that. We said 3.
Month.
We needed 3 center backs this past window, 2 immediate starters and 1 for depth / the future to develop.
So what's that business that Conte was saying? Oh, it's okay. Well, I don't need any center backs. I know he doesn't want to throw anyone under the bus, but he's still like
He knows he needed center backs. He needs more than that too. He needs more midfielders. He needs better wingers. He
You
needs
think
better.
that's why he stayed in Italy?
He needs better wing backs.
Do you think
We'll see, man. I don't know. That's the question that I kind of wanted to ask you too. Are you worried? Are you worried? Is he going to come back? Because a lot of people are speculating whether or not he is going to come back from that bed rest in Milan, or not Milan, but Italy.
He might just be sitting comfy and might not even want to. I mean, why would he if he's now with his family?
I can't lie.
sitting in the
I've thought
country?
about it. If whether or not I've pondered that question too. I'm sure a lot of Spurs fans have. It's just human nature, right? You know, just the little worry in the back of your head. But it's possible, I guess. I don't know. I know that there's reports that come out that he's could possibly return against Milan and he's looking forward to it, but you know, there's still the paranoia inside me and inside other people.
Some people are saying that they think this is a perfect time for us to just mutually split. Some people are saying that at any moment the club could be coming out with a statement that we're gonna turn. What's up, Aaron Dubb? He's in the chat. He says, "Sort out Sonny." Big up Aaron Dubb in the house. Where are we gonna end up in the league and cup with all these good injuries and lack of quality? I still think the FA Cup is grabbable. If we get Papa Daddy Papi Sarr playing the way he could play, shoot, I think he's silky, bro. I'm trying to not overhype him, but I think he's silky. I think he's nice.
It's about time you're getting on the train of an up-and-coming player that's breaking through for once.
What do you mean?
Kulusevski, Richarlison. Not as much Richarlison, but you know what I mean.
Hey, I did the fucking dance after he scored the brace versus Marseille to qualify. Come on. That was a beautiful moment. He's hugging his parents. That was
but more so Kulusevski. You were not on the Kulusevski train at first.
No. But now I'm starting to question my seat. Do I want to give my ticket up on that train? Because
I'm not. I'm staying. I'm sitting down. I'm sitting down. I'm seated.
You were going to get
I'm sitting comfy.
All right.
I've been comfy.
Confession time.
And I'm going to stay comfy.
It's confession time, Michael. You need to tell the people, whose jersey were you about to get? Did you order it yet? Were you about to get someone's jersey?
Kulusevski?
Yeah.
I need to. I need to for sure. I need to get the third kit. I still want to get the third kit. Kulusevski on the back. I would love to get Kulusevski, like actual Kulusevski on the back. That would be fire.
It costs the same, don't it?
I think so.
Yeah. So why not?
Yeah.
Ben Kaufman says these players already threw 3 coaches under the bus. It's not out of the ordinary that a manager would be wary of being the 4th. I mean, and you just got your gallbladder out, so that's nice too.
Yeah.
You're now at home. I don't know if you should be flying after a major surgery like that. That was my first thought, was should he even be jumping on a plane and flying to Italy? Someone in the chat tell me, how far is the flight from London to Milan? I'm assuming you fly into Milan. Conte's only resting because he came back too quick. Silly, but it showed commitment, so he'll be back, is what Paul Beatty says. And what Paul Beatty says...
How worried are you? I don't know if you've actually answered the question yet, Jacob. How worried are you?
I'm low-key dodging it. I'm low-key swerving it.
Okay.
What'd you say?
Okay. I'm not accepting it yet. I'm not accepting the question.
Because...
Not entertaining the question yet.
Am I going to open this? That's my question.
That's the question.
Am I going to open this?
I think you have to.
Right now? All right, I'm going to make the poll while you talk.
Dude, do it right now. And when we go on like a 5-game win streak, we'll come back to this moment. We'll be like, this is when it started.
All right, so fuck the poll then?
Fuck it.
Fuck the poll. All right, if
we're opening it live on air.
I am going to put this on Spotify, so if you are listening to this on Spotify, you want to witness the breaking of the Antonio curse, we're going to do it here live on air right now at 50 minutes into the show. Where do I peel this open from? I'm kind of nervous, Michael. I'm kind of nervous. Do you think this will really break the curse?
I think so.
Got it. All right, here we go, Antonio. Get out the fucking.
Come out,
box,
Antonio.
bro. Come out, Antonio.
Come out, Antonio.
Come out, Antonio. We just want to talk. There he is.
There he is. He's out.
You're out of there.
Antonio.
You've been broken out of the curse.
Antonio. 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 Antonio.
You've
What
seen
a
it
man.
here. For the 11 of you watching, you've seen it here live. For whoever watches this back on playback.
Hey, when we
you've
win the
seen it
FA
here
Cup,
live.
we're gonna come back to this moment and we're gonna be like, this is when we turned it around. This is when
the
we knew.
moment. Make note, February 17th, 2023, Antonio has come out of the package. He's done. The curse is over. We've broken it here today.
Could you imagine if there was news that came out like in an hour that he got sacked or something like that? Could you imagine? I would
could,
100%
actually.
blame you. Just letting you know. If anything happens in the next like few days or so, I'm definitely blaming you. But it remains to be seen, so it's okay.
That's our favorite.
Nothing's
thing.
happened yet.
My wife's going to be like, you actually took him out of the package. She's going to be blown away that I did this. There he is. It even says a nice little Conte right there on the... I'm a little sad, honestly. I didn't...
Conte.
Come on, Conte. You
Come
got
on,
this, buddy.
Conte.
We'll put him right
Come
there so
on,
he can watch
Conte.
us while we stream. He's sitting right there. That was a big moment, man. I didn't expect that. 50 minutes in. I need
There
to
you
make
go.
note. 50 minutes in.
Conte came out.
We broke the Antonio Conte curse. Yeah, he came out the package. Let's see. Oh,
His
Aaron
water.
Dubb said, no, don't open it. He told us not to open. And we
Too
did.
late.
Yo, the flight's only an hour and a half, so it's really not that bad, it sounds like. Bro, that's like from here
It's like
to
going
Dallas.
to Dallas. Yeah, it's like going to Dallas.
What the fuck? London? London
That's nice.
to Milan?
Imagine.
Is like, no, I can't. That's absurd to me. I was thinking like 4 or
I
5.
wish I could
maybe
get
6
to
hours.
Milan instead of Dallas in an hour and a half, or like Phoenix in an hour and a half. I would much rather be in like Greece in an hour and a half, or like
Yeah,
Portugal in an hour and a half, or Spain in an hour and a half.
run it up. That's what I'm talking about.
Damn, that must be nice, man.
Mm-hmm.
Give it up over there, people in Europe.
Don't puff on that Conte pack just yet.
I'm not smoking on any Conte pack, man. Never. I'm going down with the shit.
Real quick, before we address Rich's great question, which I will star as well, Rich coming in with the sticks. I want to ask you, Michael, about just the return fixture real quick before we close off our Milan speakage. I mean, I guess we're already kind of closed out of the Milan talk, but do you think we could do something come return
possible.
at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium?
It's possible.
What would need to happen in order for it to be
Us to
successful?
score a goal, but that would be asking a lot as of right now. So I'm gonna say 1-0 Milan in the reverse leg, and we bow out of the Champions League group stage or knockout rounds in this round of 16.
Really,
That's just me.
I don't feel like our squad is deep enough for that. In my
I think it's
opinion.
over. I
don't
think it's
think
FA
we're-
Cup time.
I feel like we're lucky to make it this far in the Champions League, just with the squad level competition that we have.
If we had a better group, we wouldn't have. So I agree.
When Conte returns,
I hate
and
to
his
be
head is
a negative Nancy on the pod, but
It's
that's just
yeah. This
the
is the
Milan
SOS
reverse
pod.
leg. I understand the positivity and the optimism of playing the reverse leg at home in front of our fans on a Champions League night, but we're Tottenham Hotspur, and I don't know, especially without Bentancur.
Bentancur.
It's just players got to step up, man. And for me, who's stepping up in that game? Because no one has so far. No one's shown me that.
It's got to be Kane for me. It's got to be Kane. One of his goals this season is in the Champions League, so it's got to be Kane. Come on, I need some more from you. How does Richarlison outscoring you in the Champions League? And then also Sonny. also Sonny as well.
Yep.
He needs to turn it up in the Premier League and the
Who's
FA Cup.
sexy now?
All need to turn. Kulusevski now. Why is it now we're worried about our attack, which was such a coveted thing last season?
Don't get it wrong. I am and will forever be worried about the defense. But yes, I will admit now I am slightly worried about the attack too. 180 minutes, 1 goal, last 2 games.
So here's a theory I want to throw out to you before we talk about the West Ham game. Does the Stellini X factor, the substitute teacher factor, the mystery hand factor, if you know what I'm talking about, wink, wink, if it's one of those things that it could be, do you think that maybe with Stellini being in charge, these players might act right? We've seen him act right when Stellini in charge, and him when it's Stellini and Mason that are piloting this ship. We've seen some decent results. So who's to say that we wouldn't continue that? That's kind of my thought, Michael. What do you think about that?
You're cooking in the kitchen right now.
Cooking.
And I'm smelling it. I'm smelling it.
You smell that?
And I'm liking it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm walking to the kitchen right now to see what you're cooking.
Oh, yeah. Walk up in here.
That's where I'm at right now in terms of the
peekaboo.
Stellini talk. Because I told you the last time that he managed. And I said, look, what if? And I just said, what if? And I was, half kidding and half non-sober, if you know what I mean. But I said, what if we just go on a rampage with Stellini as our manager and he just takes over at the end after the season ends? And Conte
then
goes
we
back
just
to
say
Italy.
Yeah, Conte
But
just
Stellini takes over. So I'm liking what you're cooking. I'm smelling it.
Yeah.
Now I'm walking to the kitchen to see what it is, to see if I want more or if I want to eat it or if I want to have it. So I'll let you know when we get to the kitchen. We're not there yet, though. I'm walking there.
I'm good dish.
I got up off the couch. I'm off the couch.
Okay, I like that because in my opinion,
I'm interested.
A good dish, something that you cooking up real nice, will get you up off the couch.
If you're getting off the couch for a dish based on the smell, then something must be right in the kitchen.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just interested to see what it is right now. Because I'm interested and I want it as of right now.
Well, once it really get cooking, I hope your appetite opens up because for me, I'm at the stage of cooking it where I'm like, I'm getting hungry now. We starting to really cook with grease. So I think anything is possible. I've always felt that way. Anything can happen. Hotspur says we always have a goal in us when we play football. I agree, Hotspur. We do always have a goal in us when we play football. It's just really, it's a coin flip, Michael. What Tottenham are we going to see that day? And I think with these injuries, it even makes it more of a questionable coin flip. Maybe the coin flip is not caught, is now bouncing off of furniture and it's rolling around the gutter. So you really got to chase it to find out the result of the coin flip. But the coin is flipping, and I'm thankful for for that fact alone, because the fact that we are still in the talks of mathematically making it possible to finish top 4, that we still have a good chance. I still think our quality favors us for Sheffield United in the FA Cup. I think we have a good chance there. Not all is lost. I don't feel not all. I feel like a lot of Spurs fans at this point are like feeling lost and feeling no hope. Tune into United Spurs of America. I've got some fucking hope for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, for you. Fuck you, for you. I got fucking hope for days, my friend. I'm telling you, Michael, come over here, have a slice of cherry pie, sit on down on the country kitchen lap, and I will make everything okay.
Like I said, I'm off the couch. I'm heading your way.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens when I get there.
I really think Stellini, Sarr, this new Emerson, buying Pedro Porro has turned Emerson into a player who
Actual Cafu now.
Did you see that? Like, he fell, slide, kept the ball, got up, kept running. Nasty. A little nastiness. That was kind of silky smooth. And how is it that I'm sitting here saying Sarr's our best player versus Milan at the San Siro? Emerson was our second best player and Oliver Skipp was our third best player. That's how I felt.
It's crazy.
It's on. Like Paul Beatty just said, the treble is on, baby. We're in the mix. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, Paul Beatty.
If you said the double, I'd believe you. Treble, nah, we're not winning the league.
Nah, but it's still mathematically a possibility. So I'm not completely sold that it can't happen. What if City get not relegated, but like deducted 15 points like Juve? Hey, that puts us in. We still got Arsenal, United, Newcastle ahead of us, and then all of them capitulate. Who's to say that it doesn't happen? Who's to say that it doesn't? Who? What's up, Jacob? Hello, Mike and Jacob. What is up, Jacob? We just hit the hour mark, so please, if you are here, I haven't even checked. Do hit that like. Do hit that subscriberino. We're here at the hour mark. If you're here with us, go out and grab a seat, grab something to drink, sit down, and thank you so much for being here. Please do hit that like button. It does help the video's algorithm. Helps our algorithm. I was gonna put something in the poll, Michael, but you know what, Jacob, you missed this. We took him out of the package.
It was time.
We took him out. He's out of the package now. Conte is out of the package, Jacob. So we're good. Don't worry. We set the juju right. Everything's all right. That's how I feel. Damn, man. Damn. We started this show very, very kind of sad. And I feel like right before we do our preview, I'm feeling pretty good, man. You know, I'm feeling pretty damn good about West Ham coming up. So I'm going to ask you, Rich asked us, result versus West Ham. I don't think they're good at all.
I don't either. I was going to say, well, they're dog shit. So I think we're going to win. And I think that's the only reason why we're going to win. We're almost dog shit. We're just shit right now. West Ham are dog shit. Mm-hmm. We don't lose to dog shit. Usually. Sometimes we do. But you know what I mean. I'm kind of worried in terms of the fact that we just lost our last two games. But the other side is like we're at home and it's West Ham. And West Ham suck this year. But also, usually when we play West Ham, it's usually good. I know recently it hasn't been, especially like when we were, under Nuno and, a few results prior to that as well. But I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling slightly cautiously optimistic. Saying 2-0 Spurs. And then, yes. No. 2-1 Spurs, sorry. Because we're not keeping a clean sheet. Backline's not keeping a clean sheet. There ain't no way. Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way.
Ain't no way.
Kane with one. Way. Richarlison with one. What about you?
Wait, you said Richarlison with one? Okay.
So this is on the hopeful. Well, not hopeful, but
I guess we should have done our predicted
in terms
11s.
of like my predictions. In terms of my predictions, hopefully, he starts in place of Sonny. So if he starts, I think he's going to score.
He's not going to start.
Their ass.
He's not going to start. Sonny's not getting benched. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it. I personally just don't see it. I'm going to say I think it's going to be like a 3-2. I think we're going to let a few goals. I know they've got that Italian striker Scamacca coming back. He's been training with their team again. So I'm
Vancouver
a little
Whitecap, former Vancouver Whitecap, Scamacca, right?
No lie. Are you sure?
Or is it Montreal Impact? Didn't he play for MLS?
I'm looking it up. Don't worry. I'm looking him up. Scamacca.
Hold on. Didn't he? Or am I thinking of a different player?
Gianluca Scamacca. He played.
No, I'm thinking of a different player.
Sassuolo.
No, it looked like I'm thinking of a different player.
Sassuolo.
I thought there was a Vancouver Whitecap player that played in the Premier League now. But I am not talking about Alphonso Davies. I thought there was a different player. But
Jaco doesn't like that you said bench, Sonny.
I'm sorry, Jaco.
I want
to see Richarlison on the left. That's why. I'm sorry. I just want to see something different.
I say start Danjuma over Kulusevski.
You know what I would do? I would start Richarlison on the left and Son on the right. I know Son usually plays better on the left rather on the right in the past, But I don't know, man. Fuck it. I know he doesn't like to play with Perisic. We know that. So that's why I say just fuck it. Play on the other side.
Okay, I'm not against that. Put Son on the right. I think he's 5-star in all 3 feet that he has. So
Yeah,
you
he
can put him.
is. All
I
three.
just don't
Don't
see
forget the
him getting
third.
benched. I don't mind putting him on the right. Put Kulu on the left, or excuse me, Richarlison on the left with Kane. I do like Richarlison coming down the middle. I don't know. That's just me personally. Um, I want Danjuma to get a chance. I want Danjuma to get a shot just because I don't feel like he's gotten enough minutes to really show me enough. But he's already gotten a fucking goal. So to me, why not? Why does he just got to ride the bench the whole time? If it's not working, change things early. That's my thought as well with this West Ham game because we see it time and time again. We just stick with the same fucking thing. And it's like, sometimes when that car it just won't fucking turn over. You're starting the engine, and it just won't fucking turn over. Sometimes you just gotta say, hey, this ain't working. I gotta try something different. And you know what? I think we're gonna get that with Mr. Stellini. I think Stellini is gonna be the Feeny, the Houdini. He's gonna come to
Houdini.
town and he's gonna fix the whole thingy. You know what I mean? He's the man. I believe in him. He may look like a troll, but you know what? He about to troll your team. That's how I feel about it. In Stellini, we trust. I'm gonna put it there. In Stellini, I trust. I think you have to take out one of those front three. For me, I'm taking out Kulusevski before I take out Heung-min Daddy, Heung-min Hung, Heung-min Son. He's still in the package. Don't everyone worry. He's still nicely warm.
He ain't never leaving there, is
He
he?
ain't ever leaving this fucking thing. So, shout out Heung-min Daddy. He ain't sitting on no bench. Okay, he's a star. He's a motherfucking star. And if you don't like it, boo-hoo. I'm so sorry for you. I've seen a lot of nasty things directed at my man Heung-min Daddy over this whole season. You know what? I ain't hearing it. I don't give a fuck. That's how I feel about it. We move when Son moves. We move when Kane moves. And when they both moving, we're moving and we're grooving. So give me more Heung-min Daddy. That's all I got to say about that, man. Tricky One says Conte will still be picking the team. I hope he's not, but I think you're right. I think he will be. But I think Stellini will make the in-game decision to make a change sooner rather than Conte would, because Conte's not going to be calling him at the 50th minute. He's going to just say, good luck, have a good game. You know the game plan. We've worked on the shit. You do your thing. He said that last time too, if I'm not mistaken. He said to everybody, he said, I let him just do his thing because he's worked with the players every training. He plays with the players during training, so he sees them firsthand. He knows what the players can offer him. So Conte said that he trusts Stellini. I trust Stellini. And in-game management is going to be different than what Conte radios in before the matches. I think it's going to be a Stellini free-for-all, and we're going to see bloodbath. And you know who's going to come out on top? Fucking Stellini. The Houdini.
Stellini cooking in the kitchen.
He gonna be cooking in that kitchen, baby. Come on. I told you, Tricky One. I got enough hope for everyone. I got enough hopium and copium and all of whatever you want to call. I got it all for everybody. Actually, I'm gonna run through some of these score predictions. In this system, whoever plays left wing, they're not going to do better. I do agree with that. The amount of tracking back and defensive play that Sonny has to do, I don't agree with. I don't like for a second. Tricky One says this will be a toughie. Wet Spam will be up for it. West Blamers, they will.
Wet
They
spam.
usually are. But here's what I got to say about them.
They suck.
Fuck you, your ass. Meet me at the club, bitch. That's what I would say. So fuck you, Wet Spam. Phil Coys, Danjuma for Perisic, Richie for Son.
For
Bring Sonny on
Perisic.
second half.
Danjuma left wing back.
He can't be worse defensively, I'll say that much. So you're not too far off, Phil. I don't think it'll happen, but he can't be worse defensively than what we've seen. Perisic is a fucking liability as far as I'm concerned defensively. Hotspurs, I don't believe half these players enjoy playing for Conte, so they will raise their game like they do when it suits them. You might be right. That's what I'm saying. When the cats are at bay, the mice are at play. Isn't that what they say? So It could be a problem. It could be a major problem. Been covering 3-5-2, play 2 up top. Decky as a number 10. Decky needs to fucking chill out for a minute. Maybe he needs to sit down and reevaluate because
I'm
honestly,
telling you, man, he just needs some rest.
he needs some
rotation.
rest. But see, here's the thing: how much fucking rest did you get during the World Cup? I know you weren't playing for Sweden. What was you doing?
Working. I don't know. Maybe.
Jaco says Danjuma, Richie, and Sonny up top. Drop Kane. Oh, to central midfielder. Okay, put Kane up. I have them all. Okay, Bobby K. Start Danjuma. Scott M. I'm gonna save that one. Let's see who else. What's up, little Kermit? It says John. What's up, little Kermit? Play Son higher up the field and the goals will come. Dude shouldn't be having to run so damn much. He shouldn't be having to track back and play defensively. That's how I feel. If you look at his heat map, it's not a nice one this season. He's been hanging out in our half way too often. And honestly, I don't like to see that.
Our entire team hangs out in our half way too often, to be fair.
That's true. Phil Coys Stellini looks like the big-footed giant. Hey, but you know what? I love this man. You could be uglier than a pack of rocks, but I don't give a shit if you do the job right. And he's undefeated, Michael, like you said earlier in the show. He's fucking undefeated. Phil Coy says 2-1 Spurs. Tricky One says 1-1. I got some of the starred ones. Aaron Dub, 10-inch. He's 10-inch member, I do believe. Aaron Dub says 2-1 Spurs.
2-1. That's what I said.
Paul Beatty's got Spurs 5, West Ham 0. Fuck them, they're shite. Isn't
what
that
I'm
exactly
saying.
what I just said?
That's what I'm saying.
Fuck them. They are going to be up for it, like Tricky One said, but fuck them. That's how I feel. Todd Spurs, if we can keep them away from our defense, then we can win 3-1. Ben Kaufman 0-0, both shot. Ben, you sound more and more like Scott.
I mean, you're not wrong.
But you're not wrong. That might happen. Or 1-1. I could totally see a 1-1 versus West Ham. Excuse me, Wet Splam.
Wet spam.
And Scott M says 2-2 draw for West Ham if we play our best lineup. 3-0 West Ham win if we start playing guys like Richarlison, Danjuma, and Royale. That's another good question, I think, to ask for the West Ham game. Michael, who's starting right wing back?
I think it's going to be Emerson. Just purely based on 1, form, 2, just I think, especially with the mistakes that we've made over the past few games, I think Stellini / Conte is going to be want to be more defensively stable, and Emerson brings a little bit more to that rather than Pedro Porro like we saw against Leicester. So I'm going to go with Emerson. I think Porro might start against Sheffield. You never know, but I think these next 2 games are Emerson's. What about you?
I do agree. It is now becoming closer and closer to saying it. If you remember, and I'm going to be the first to hold my hand up and say, I wanted Pedro Porro starting instantly. I don't give a fuck. We spent all January chasing his pretty little ass. So go ahead, bring it here, dance around, let me see what you got, is how I felt about it. But now I kind of feel like maybe that was wrong of me. He's still a young lad, new to a league. Maybe I shouldn't have had my expectations so high. So you know what? I think let him learn a little bit. Let him train more with the team. I think what's also going to help is when we go back to having like 1 game per 7 days for like, I think we do that twice coming up. So we get a little bit nicer of a schedule maybe. But still, I just really feel like Emerson, he's done decently enough. You can't knock the guy. The past 2 starts that he had, the game before Leicester, Man City, I believe it was, when we got Porro, but we didn't play him because we started Royale, and then we started him versus Leicester, and he doesn't do well. I just don't think we throw him in again. I feel like maybe Emerson's up to it. Maybe Emerson's got a fire up under his ass. You know what I mean?
Is Romero out for this game?
Is he? No, he. So he got sent off versus City.
2 yellows. So that means it's
so
1
he was
game,
suspended
right?
the 1 game. Yeah, it's 3 matches if it's a straight red,
Yeah,
which it was 2 yellows.
So that means he's suspended for this game, right? Or
no, he was suspended for Leicester.
Okay.
So he missed Leicester. We had Tanganga out there at Leicester, if you remember. And I thought Tanganga was the best of the bunch. if I'm honest, out of Dyer, Davies, and Tanganga. I thought he was the best one out of an abysmal.
It's not saying much.
It's not saying much. Ben Kaufman says Emerson has earned his place, so he's going to agree there. Phil Coy says Porro for me. Get them bubble blowers. Ryman's son says we paid $60 million for Emerson to step up.
Maybe that's what you need sometimes.
Maybe you need to light a $60 million fire.
Just like his $2 million workout regimen or whatever he had.
And what is it working, Michael? Is his regimen working?
Now maybe he's now reaping the benefits.
It's hard to think that
it's hard to say. There's a lot of factors here.
Jayco says already slow defense. Conte adding Perisic and Porro. What the fuck? Our defense doesn't look great with Perisic right now. Didn't look great with Porro, but again, I'm going to give Porro some time. That's kind of what Michael and I were saying. We're going to give Porro a little bit of time. My starting 11, Mike, I'll go ahead and start it. You already gave your prediction. I actually did not give my prediction because I was holding it out for just a little bit. So I didn't give you my score prediction. Something's telling me 2-2. I see us winning and then like giving up a goal late. I have trauma versus West Ham just because they've done it to us before. So I have a little bit of trauma. I feel like we might go up and then we'll tie and then we'll go up and then they'll tie it right at the death or something. We'll collapse. Fucking Eric Dyer will head it beyond Fraser Forster's.
Eric Dyer will hit a bike into his own net or something like that.
Something bad. So that's my prediction. It's 2-2. West Ham and Tottenham is going to be a 2-2 draw. I think the goals are going to come from KANE. He's either going to have one or two, and if it's not KANE, it's going to be Hotspur. I think Hotspur is going to see this as a chance to step up and say, guess what? I should be captain. I know a lot of people don't like him, but this is quite frankly, our team's in shambles. Someone's got to take control of this motherfucking car because we're rolling down the hill and ain't no one grabbing the wheel. As far as I'm concerned, Harry Kane hasn't stepped up as enough as a leader. He doesn't look vocal out there. He doesn't rally the troops. I heard someone else say, who was at the Leicester game, whenever they were checking VAR stuff and there were like breaks in between shit, there was no one like, come on. Remember Cobra? Remember Zdenek and his energy that he would bring to the team, like when times were down and out? We don't have that. We didn't have that at first Leicester. There was no one really piping up, and that's really when your skipper's got to step up and do that. And to me, Harry Kane, I fucking love you, but he's not that guy. He's not the guy to get you a fire up under your ass. Hotspur, maybe. He might be. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. But that's my prediction. My starting 11, I will start off real quick. I'm going to say Forster in goal. Right wing back's going to be Emerson, much to Scott M's chagrin. I'm going to say Emerson gets to start at right wing back. Left wing back will be Perisic. Unfortunately, because Sessegnon is out, we have really no one else. If Perisic goes down, we have no left wing back. That's something.
Sessegnon's out for what, 8 weeks too, right? 6 to 8 weeks also.
What did he do? Stub his toe? Fucking A. This fucking guy. This fucking guy, man. This fucking guy.
Can't even stay healthy.
This fucking guy. Okay, so I'm going Perisic on the left. My back three, I think it's going to be Romero and fuckboy number 1 and likely fuckboy number 2 or Longley. But I'm going to say probably Longley. I don't know. Longley and Perisic is not a good combo. Davies and Perisic, maybe. So I'm gonna say Davies. Actually, fuck it. I don't really care at this point. None of them are good enough. And then in the midfield, I think it's gonna be Hotspur and Papi Matessar. And then I think I'm going with Son, Kane, and Danjuma.
Wow. Okay.
Danjuma to replace Kulu. That's what I say. Michael, what's your starting 11?
I'm gonna go Forster, Emerson, Romero, Dyer, Longley, Perisic, Hotspur, Sarr, Richarlison, Kane, Kulusevski. I'm sorry. I apologize.
So that's the only difference was
Son. I have Richarlison for Son. And I have Longley for Davies.
Okay, all right. Phil Coy says Forrester, Porro at right mid, Emerson, Romero, Longley, Danjuma. This is a crazy formation. Sarr, Højbjerg, Richie, Kane, and Kulu. We don't have a leader in the squad. I do agree with that. Scott M. I hope for my starting 11 is Austin, Perisic, Longley, Romero, Tanganga, White, Sarr,
Harvey White,
Son, Kane, and Kulu. Wow, that's
Brandon.
You really
Austin
didn't want to put
fold.
Højbjerg in there. You really just didn't want to put Højbjerg in there. But his predicted 11: Forrester, Perisic, Davies, Dyer, Romero, Shitberg,
Damn,
Skipp,
shots fired.
Son, Kane, and Kulu. Shitberg.
Tell us how you really feel, Scott.
Tell us how you feel, Scott. We're here for you, buddy. J-Code, don't give up on Sonny. I never give up on Sonny. I will never tear him out of his package. Don't you worry. I only tore Antonio Conte out of the package today because it had to be done. It had to be done. Tricky one. Davies can go to left wing back. No. I mean, I guess that's what we'll do if Perisic goes down. You're probably right.
He can go to a championship side. That's what
He needs to go to Swansea. I'm just gonna say that. Just go to Swansea, bro. Get the fuck out of here. Just get the fuck out of here. I'll never give up on Sonny. Me either. Richie Kane, Kulu up front is what Tricky One says. Scott M says sorry, way out my predicted. Yeah, not the most optimistic pod today, Mike.
No, but we did have a lot of good stuff to talk about today. We did. We had a lot of good stuff in there, man. A lot of good stuff. For sure.
You know what I miss doing?
I'm like cautiously optimistic about this one.
I miss doing
Man of the match in BD. Jesus.
I miss doing this, Michael. I miss this a lot.
The man of the match in BD of the last two matches have been the full-time whistle.
Do you remember? I'm probably going to put that as filler because I was keeping notes, if you remember.
Yeah.
Of
It just
our
sucks
man of the
when
match
you,
in BDE, but then
when you don't win.
It started just falling apart and it became like there's no point. There's really no point because why? If we drop Sonny, it doesn't mean we've given up on him, guys. I think that's a fair point. People want to just see some change, bring him on at halftime. Fuck it. I'm
Same
not
as
against
I was saying with
any
Kulu.
of the change. Exactly.
Rotation.
It's nothing against Kulu. It's not that I don't like him anymore. I still think he's an all right kid. I think he can come good. Just needs a break. Maybe that's the same thing with Sonny. I haven't given up on him. Neither has Michael, and Michael has had. So I think we cover both ends of that, Mike. You haven't given up on him. I don't think you would never give up on Sonny, but you do have him benched for your starting 11 this week, and I think that's fine to say that. For me, I don't have him benched because he's Golden Boot winner at any moment. Fucking fire can catch on. Just right now, the logs are a little wet. He got too wet last season. The logs are still a little wet. You know what happens when you have a wet log?
It's kind of soggy. You got to let them dry.
A little harder to start that fire. But at any moment, them logs are going to be dry. Sonny will be firing. I have no doubt. Phil says, when do you have guests on, lads? We do have guests on all the time. We try to have one every week. This week I did want to make it a little more intimate with just Michael and myself, solely because I felt like the state of Spurs, I just needed to really touch ground with Michael and see where he's at, have a good conversation with him and with you all in the chat. So big up to everyone who's been here this entire show. It hasn't been our most positive show, but I've still enjoyed it, Michael, because like I said, we do have guests on quite frequently.
This is a good one, man.
We do have a lot of great guests that I, admire, but this week I did want to keep it intimate, just Michael and myself, so I could really connect with the man who understands me the most when it comes to Tottenham Hotspur, and that's Michael right here. So, but Phil, we do have guests on. Hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up, however we can DM or whatever if you want to come on. We also have Pop Up with Jacob. That's a show that I do. I usually do at least once a week. I didn't do it last week, but at least do it once a week. And the link is out there, so you can always call in. You don't have to have a camera or nothing. But if we try and have you on for a Friday show, we do want to have your camera on. I do like to look people in the eyes. I do like to talk to them, mano y mano, or, I don't think that's mano y mano.
You like to look at them hand in hand?
I like to look at their fucking oculars.
Yeah.
Their peepers. They're jeepers, creepers, peepers. But big up yourself, Phil Coy. Feel free to join us in any of those. Jaco, Sonny is the best option. I do agree. Hotspur's bigs up us. Big up yourself, Hotspur. You've been here the entire show, the entire hour and a half that we've been going. So big up. Phil, good to come on sometime. Been on stream with you before on Sean's show. Phil, I think I do remember you, Phil. It was Sava's or Sean's, I do believe. Phil, so please do hit me up on Twitter. It's Michael's. If you see on Michael's handle right there, it's at @USpursOfA. Hit me up, dude. We would love to have you on. You're fantastic. If you're the Phil I'm thinking of, there's about 1,000 Phils. I know we got Phil, we got that Phil, but that's Phil P, I believe. And then you, Phil, if you're the Phil I'm thinking about, yeah, I think it was Savage show that we might have shared. But big up yourself, my friend. Hit me up on Twitter and we'll get it sorted. We'll have you on a Friday show for sure. But Michael, I don't know what else you want to talk about. You got any final thoughts for me, my friend?
My final thought today, man, is going to be Conte in, back him. I know a lot of people are worried that he might not even come back from his stay in Italy. I have to admit we're all human, myself included a little bit. I have to admit, to a certain degree, I am scared that he's not going to come back. But look, Conte in, I'm backing him till the end. Give him the fucking players that he needs. He needs better than Dyer. He needs better than Longley. He needs better than Perisic and Sessegnon. He needs better than Emerson. He needs better than fucking Skipp and Sarr starting in the Champions League round of 16 matchup with AC Milan. Like, come on, man. He needs better than Lloris. He needs better than Forster. He needs the tools to be successful. Conte in. What about you, man? Final thoughts?
My final thoughts are I'm so thankful for the growth in the channel, new subscribers, old subscribers, all the same. I'm so thankful for you all. The road to 1K is on, so that's my final thought. Big ups to everyone who's been here from the beginning. Whether you join the club early or late, it don't matter. The club is always open for you, and you can come on and find yourself a seat. So you know what? That's what I'm always thankful, Michael. I'm also thankful to have you on. I'm thankful we get to share this moment in time and, just share a little bit of our sadness together, because doesn't misery love company?
For sure.
That's how I feel about it.
For sure. Thank you guys so much for listening to another edition of the United Spurs of America podcast. If you haven't already, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 1,000 followers, subscribers, if you will, on YouTube. And hey, once we hit that 1K, we can start getting donations as well. We'll be back to normal from our previous streams that you guys were used to for a long time. But we're almost there. We're past the 900 mark. Now we're just so close. We're creeping up. We're close to that 1,000 mark. So please hit the like, hit the subscribe button. And we'll see you same time, same place next week. If you're traveling to the game on Sunday, be safe, be loud, be proud. We'll be watching on the telly across the pond. But for Jacob, I'm Michael. Up the lads. And Jacob?
Come on, you Spurs. Go,